Hi everybody, I'm John of JWH Millinery and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here and you want to learn about millinery and millinery news and everything hat related, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and if you're already subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell to be notified every time we release videos in future. This video, as soon as I had the idea, I was like, I have to get this filmed. Like, I just had these ideas in my head for so long. From the title of the video, you know that this is a Spice Girls inspired collection of headwear. It's probably going to be a two-part, so I'm going to do maybe 3 in this episode and 2 in the next. So yeah, I went to Peter's Shums. I've got some fabulous things to show you, some new things to show you. So instead of me whittering on as per usual, let's get straight into it. This first one is a piece which is going to kind of represent sporty Spice. So when I was doing my research into sort of like looks which were iconic, I mean I knew already, but I just wanted like verification of iconic looks for each of them. That's where I took my inspiration from, and the one image which is on the screen now, this kept coming up time and time again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that colour story, the orange, the sort of like the very bright orange with the like a royal blue, and Sporty Spice was always known for wearing Adidas or Adidas or however it said, Adidas tracksuit bottoms. So using this crin tube, which I've got in like a nice royal blue, so we have everything cut out. We've got our strips, we have our tubular crin, so that's all cut out ready. So got pins, and all we're going to do is just pin that into place here, making sure you get through both sides of that. Yeah, we did. And then just pull that across and pin it into place on this side, like so. Now, as you can see, I struggled a little bit there because obviously this has no stretch, it has no bias, so yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to get that. So what I'm going to do now is, I've got some thread already threaded up. I'm going to just sew these down into place, just with a very small stitch, just like so. And trim off any excess on each one. Like so. Oh, I've just pulled that too tight. So that, try not to pull too tight because it will come through this like foil. And this is actually the same material that sequins are made out of, I found out. So you can actually use this material to make your own sequins if you so wish to do so. Right, so sew all of these down, and then let's move on to the next step. Right, so we've attached this to the base, and it was a little bit tricky, I'm not going to lie. If you were to use glue, I wouldn't judge you in no way, shape or form. But I have, if you look, it's not very even, and we want nice even lines. So what I have already attached is some clear thread. Now you can't see this, I don't know if you can see it, but I do have some clear thread attached. And all I'm doing is using the clear thread to hold them into place where I want them. So pull that, so that needs to come in a little bit here. So just like that. There we go, and that's looking a bit more even now. This last one's going to be tricky. Because it's clear thread, you can actually hold it. You don't need to like, it's easily hidden. So just pull that one, and there. This one more, here we go. You don't want to pull it too tight though, because it will start bending. It doesn't have any ease, doesn't have any give. So there we go. That's still not very even though. I think it needs one there. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to tie that off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add these on top of where, like that. So you're still going to see some of that metallicness. So I'll thread this off later. So where's my smallest one? This one. So just like before, you want to pin this into place. In fact, what I would do is sew it down. So let me thread up. Oh, I've got a needle threaded here, so we can actually go through like that. So just, you might want to do it a couple of times, just so that it holds that into place. And then you want to pull this over, not too tight, because you don't want it to, like stretch out or anything like that. And just nip that in and just pop a pin in. In fact, this is quincy, you're probably going to need to put several pins in. Oh no, it's fine. And then using that clear thread will hold it back into place again. So let me go ahead and sew all this down, and I'll show you the final reveal. And that is the finished piece. Now obviously you would need to put a ribbon on the inside. This is just a tutorial to show you how to make this. I will show you very much where and know how to put ribbons on. So yeah, this is the Sporty Spice piece, and I think that looks really, really nice and something a bit different. It's not necessarily, oh, look at that, that's gorgeous. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I am going to put an elastic in here and then put this for sale. Obviously I have to put a ribbon in as well. So here's a shot of Betty wearing this piece now. For those that don't know who Betty is my long-suffering model, full of pinholes, and bless her. So yeah, so that's 1 of 5 done. Next we are moving on to ginger spice. Next up we have obviously ginger spice, and this is going to use EL wire. So this wire is basically got a battery pack here, and I'll hopefully be able to see this on camera. Let me just turn that on. So you can actually have it lighting up. There's different options. So as standard, they usually come with it coming on, one beep and like a flashing beep. And what we're going to do with this, just turn that off there, is we're going to write the word girl power on here. So let me just disconnect that battery pack. So I'll put that to one side. I've got some crim here that I was going to use. Now the good thing about these are you can actually cut it down to the length that you need. So we're going to write girl power across here. So I have some tailor's chalk here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay out my how I want it written. So I think I'm going to do it all lowercase. We're going to do it backwards. Don't worry about any connecting between the words. We are actually going to cover that with some acrylic paint at the end. So what I would first of all do is grab your wire and a pair of scissors. So I think I'm going to start here and work back and work up that way. So that way, up and across. So my entry point needs to be here. So I'm just going to open up a bit of a hole to allow that cable to go through. And then from the underside, so that bit, take that bit off. We are actually going to glue that bit down again. And what that does is, because this is electricity that's going through, that just caps it at the end. So it's perfectly fine, as long as it's not plugged in. So we'll pop that in from here. Pull the entire of the cable through until you hit this black section here. Perfect. Right, cool. And then grabbing some pins, we're going to start shaping this into place. Okay, so now we've stitched this down, and you're probably thinking that does not say girl power, and it does. So G I R L, and with anything extra we're actually going to we're just going to cover that. So you'll still, this is more of a like a nighttime piece. I mean, it has got the EL wire in it, so you know it is more of a nighttime piece. What I'm going to now do is, where have my scissors gone? My big scissors, I have no idea. I'm just going to use these small ones, and I'm just going to cut that just like that. And then this end cap that we saved from earlier, I'm just going to stick that on the end. And then fingers crossed that this actually works. Yes, it does. But you can actually see it says power here, and I think that looks like power, but this doesn't necessarily look like girl. So I have here some black acrylic paint. It's like a pearl black, and all I'm doing is just coating the end of it. Now, word of warning, don't use this, never mix electricity and liquid, but for the sake of this tutorial I am. So, I said I was going to use black, and I actually used white, and then I realised I should have just used red, but I didn't have any red acrylics, so I've left it white. So that is now dried. I have my battery pack, which I should have taken these batteries out. We'll just put that back on. And what we want to do is just put that battery pack here. What I want is to be able to, you want to be able to open it and get it back in. So where's a good place for it? Here, maybe. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a cut here, and we're actually going to feed this section through to sit over here. We're going to cover it with these flowers anyway. So where is my small scissors? So I'm just going to cut into this, just making sure I don't cut any of that wire work. Just take that case off. Right, right, can I get that through there? Right, I'm just gonna cut that a little bit more. Come on. There we go. And that should be enough to secure that. And what I'll do is I have some glue here. I'm just going to fill that in with some glue. So when it dries, I'm going to hide this anyway. So when it dries, it dries in place with the glue, and it won't come out. It dries clear anyway, so that's fine. Right, and that should be fine. Can we remove that? Yep. Yeah, we can get that off. Right, it looks a mess. It looks a mess right now, but don't worry, we will get this fixed. I've gone ahead and I've made some of these flowers using Fimo, and then I spray painted them blue and just then used a Sharpie to give it some detail. Like before, all I'm going to do is just glue these down. There's nothing really, you can't really sew Fimo down. So we're going to start with the big ones. We're going to, which one? This one first. What we want to do is want to hide that white line there. So obviously start with the big one and just then cover. Oh, so it's late at night today. I'm going to be up till stupid o'clock. Oh, right. And you can see GI now. There we go, that's better. GI, we need to put another one here just to separate the I and the R, because I actually forgot to paint that. There we go. What else? We need to just keep going with all of these. I was going to put white on here, but then I saw a picture of Jerry's new dress for the show, the tour that's going on at the moment, which I'm going to, I'm so excited. And she had like a Union Jack dress, but it wasn't like Union Jack, and there was hardly any white on it. So this is kind of giving me a little bit of hope for not using the whites. So GIR, and then we need to hide this mess here. Right, how are we going to do this? We're going to get some black ones, some large ones, first of all. So that can go here. And I think I'm going to put another one here. Yep. And that seems to have covered that gap very nicely. And I think just one more. I think we'll put, yeah, we'll put one last one in the middle of the Z, in the O of power. There we go. So I am now going to let this dry. I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then I will wire it up inside. I'll put the batteries in, and then we'll have a shot with Betty. So yeah, this is Jerry. This is her Union Jack inspired, using the colours of piece. Yeah, look out for the second part of this video, because yeah, like, I mean, this video was never really about how to make it from scratch. It was just more about, you know, using ideas and getting that thought process down onto a piece. And you don't necessarily have to recreate these. You can actually take elements of something and put them into something else. So before my millinery haters say, that's not millinery, you've not made it from scratch. No, I didn't, and I never said I was going to, so pipe down. So yeah, it's coming up to 2, and I've still got more hats to do before I go to bed. So yeah, I will see you in the next video.